All right, that takes us to Survivor Series Saturday. So our Saturdays are when we typically feature a survivor or a caregiver or someone who has maybe lost a family member. We typically feature these on Saturdays, and on the Saturdays that we don't have someone right away to feature, we want to remind you that we want to feature you. We want to feature your story. And the main reason is because the community, they really want to hear from you. You have no idea how validating hearing someone else's story can be. It not only validates what you're experiencing, even though we all experience things differently, it can like create a question in your own mind that you might want to take back to your doctor. What are your thoughts about this Survivor Series, Tammy?
Well, it was one of the very first things I looked for when I came home and could actually get back online and try to figure out what happened to me. I found more information that was truthful through the survivors that I could talk to. So this, and I think the Survivor Series is one of the most popular things, that it's one of the first contact that people have with us, is they're just looking for other people and they watch the Survivor Series and then they find us. But yeah, it's very, very important.
Yeah, and there's 3 different ways that you can participate. Of course, there could be 4 if you found another way. I'm totally open. But you can write your story down. That's how we started. You can just give us a blog with a picture, non-medically related, preferably. Just give us a picture of yourself, write it. I'm not going to alter anything unless there's a massive grammatical error or the format is off. That's your story is your story in your words. Doesn't have no bearing on us. We just want to read what you have to say. You can also pre-record with our producer, and don't worry if you're emotional. Don't worry if you cry, if you want to have costume changes, I don't care. I've seen cats or dogs run across the screen. It's awesome. We are survivors and patients and caregivers just like you. So we are not here to be in a box. We like it when people are just comfortable and themselves. And the third way is to just go live like we are now. Go live, tell your story, answer questions from the community members live, and be a boss. Just take it and tell your story live, and just it takes a lot of bravery. It really, really does. And so I commend everybody who's willing to do that. But sign up today with the link here to complete your form, and someone will be in touch with you. We really want to know a lot about the diagnosis process. Like, what did you feel and how were you diagnosed? Because so many people are misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed. And that's important to share with the medical community. And we do that by sharing your story with Think Aorta US, which is another nonprofit that is very proactive. They really try to focus on educating first responders and physicians to think about the aorta. They also work to educate the community to think aorta, think family. So we want people to share their medical history and their experiences with their families so that we can determine who's at risk and have them properly monitored so they can be diagnosed and avoid the very rare dissection. So your video may very well be shared on their website and their social media as well. Just giving a heads up on that. That is Saturday. Any thoughts on Saturday?
Hold on, we have some feedback here.
Awesome.
Karen Heichel says they're wonderful, but honestly hard to listen to sometimes.
They can be very hard.
Yeah, and I said that's very true. As I record them, I find myself constantly wiping tears off my face.
Yeah.
Alex Lima jumped into the chat here. He just recorded his last week. I can't wait for you to watch his. Yay. He recorded with his wife. Oh my God, they were so adorable.
I cannot wait to see it. That means you're going to be shown soon. So that's exciting, Alex. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I agree with Karen. I definitely find, for me, the hardest stories are the ones where there's a misdiagnosis, where especially when someone goes in and says, I've had a family member with this, or I already know I have a problem and now I'm feeling chest pain, and they're told they're fine. Oh my gosh, it drives me bananas. It's very tough. Or anybody that sounds even familiar to what I experienced. So it's hard. I mean, especially for all of us on the board, this is what we've chosen to do is with our volunteerism work, is to be in a community where this happens multiple times a day to people, and they're constantly popping up and joining, and it's hard. And yet every time I listen to it, I still learn something. 8 years later, I'm still taking away a nuance, a way to communicate, something that I don't like about an experience. Believe me, in my little pea brain, that doesn't go far. I keep that in the front so that I won't experience that myself. But I hear you. It is hard. Hard.